Hi everybody, so today we'll be doing this awesome DIY tea towel project, or as I like to say, team towels. I got this inspiration off of Etsy and I thought that we could make a more affordable way of creating the project, and it's super easy. So whether it's you that's cooking or cleaning, it will bring you and your significant other together. So we'll first start off with materials. You will need a tea towel, preferably some sort of canvas material kind of tea towel. Next, you'll need some fabric paint, and third, you'll need some printed stencils. And I will leave the information down below of what font size and what font I used. So first what I'm doing is I'm laying out my tea towel. My tea towel was actually quite big, so I had to cut it in half, and I'm just putting the top layer up for a second just because I'm going to put a protective layer down because I don't want the paint to seep through to the underneath layer. Now I'm taking my stencils and I'm just folding up the pieces that I won't be needing, which are the white spaces. I just don't want to take up too much space on my painting surface. Just centering them just because I want them in the perfect location. And I'm just pulling down the top layer now, and now I'm just perfecting everything, making sure that everything is where it's supposed to be. So I'm taking some heavier items. Mine are mason jars, and I just put them down so I could keep the fabric in place. You can use whatever you like. But now I'm just starting to paint, and because my actual tea towel was quite thin, I was able to see through it. But if you're using a thicker material, what you could do is actually tape your stencil up to a window, and then also tape your tea towel up to the window so that the light can shine through, and then you'll be able to see your stencil if you can't see it down on a flat surface. So that's a trick that I've learned throughout the years. But if you can see through your fabric, then you can just do what I'm doing. And a little tip with the fabric paints, sometimes if you squeeze way too much out, you can just not squeeze and use the tip to kind of spread out the fabric paint, just because I found that sometimes I squeezed out a little too much and I just didn't want to waste it and have it sit there and, you know, take too long to dry. So I just kind of spread it out. And also you want to make sure that you're constantly wiping off your tips so you always have a fresh and nice pointy tip to always write with. So now I'm just putting in the second word, and I'm just centering it the way that I want it to. I just thought it was easier because the Y in the U had to be a little bit closer down, but that wouldn't have worked if I put both stencils underneath at the beginning, if you know what I'm saying. But anyways, I had to turn around the canvas so that way I wasn't, you know, writing over top of the already fresh paint. And again, I put down the mason jars just to keep the fabric in place, and I'm just painting away now. Oh, also I forgot to say, I am painting from right to left just because I found that writing from left to right was a little bit more difficult, and it would make it more easy to, you know, smudge the paint. So I just thought it was a lot easier for me to write from right to left, but honestly, it's up to your preference. For me, it was just way easier to do it the opposite way. And there we go. I just finished one tea towel, and I'm just perfecting little things that need to be perfected. And what I did now was I kept the stencils underneath and I just laid it on a flat surface to dry. I would, you know, let it dry for a couple hours. It shouldn't take more than that unless you like put a big glob of paint on your wording. But it should only take a couple hours to dry. Now I'm just doing the I'll clean. I'm just doing it the exact same way as I did the you cook. So I'm just centering off just so that it's in the perfect location. And as soon as you put the tea towel down, I was able to see exactly where I want it to be, and I was able to visualize it a little bit better. And again, you can see I'm starting from left to right, or right to left again. And for these two words, I was able to put both underneath the canvas or the tea towel just because it didn't have like a big loop that was cutting in close to the other words, like the Y and the U. So this time, I guess I just kind of outlined the words first and then filled them in, so I was able to see a little bit better. Honestly, I think outlining the word was a lot easier than me trying to, fill in the word and outline at the same time. And that was just me realizing after I did this the second time. So, I mean, you might want to do a practice one if you can, or if you can't, then just try and, be really careful and find what works for you. So there you have it, an easy DIY tea towel. I hope you guys thought that it was easy and you followed along. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. And thank you so much for watching my video. Look out for my next couple of DIY tutorials. Hopefully this will be an awesome Valentine's gift if you will be using it for that.